Welcome to Navigate Cancer. Cancer may not be a journey we choose, but we can choose how we navigate it. If you're here today, it's probably because in one way or another, cancer has touched you. Maybe someone in your family has it, maybe you have it. My name is Teresa Ferreira Vilariño, and today I'm launching this podcast that somehow gives shape to all these years that I've spent working with and around the topic of cancer in different levels. This journey has taken me somewhere I would have never expected. Into research, into coaching, into working with people with cancer, into patient advocacy. And of course, I am also a cancer survivor. And I'm telling you this upfront because whenever you hear me inviting you to do something, or whenever I'm suggesting whatever tool we have, remember, I've been there. And, I work with many people. If they could, you can. With this podcast, I'm also launching my new book, Navigate Cancer, Coaching for Resilience. And you will hear me talk about the podcast, the book, the Cancer Compass as well. You will hear me talking about the three of them indistinctively because they are all connected and they are all the foundation and the framework for my work. So everything is like a package that I fully believe in. And again, thank you for being here with me because I believe in what I'm doing and I believe that it can be extremely helpful to regain your agency and decide and choose how you want to go through this journey that you are in right now. This is actually a little bit the reason why I started doing what I'm doing, because I remember back then, years ago, when I was at the doctor's hearing the diagnosis, I felt powerless and that my world was turning around and around. And I was thinking, what shall I do now? How can I do my best to heal quicker, easier, and to make the best out of this? People who were trying to help me, they were giving advice, and it didn't fit. It wasn't what I was looking for. I wanted to face cancer at my own terms. I wanted to know the how. I wanted to know how to get to that place where I wanted to go. For me, it wasn't about a battle or an enemy. For me, cancer was more like a process, a message, and an opportunity to change how I was living my life. This podcast is not about giving you answers. It's about helping you find your own answers. So what you will find here is probably questions that will help you reflect and connect the dots. It's not about judgment. There is no right or wrong. There is what you choose. So what we work on is self-awareness, that you get to know yourself so you can understand and you can listen to your own voices. Based on that, you understand what you want and you make a move. And why is this so important? Because when you choose something, when you are in control, when you are driving your journey, you're in power and you know that things are going the way you want them to go. When you let others choose or when you give your power to others, that's when sometimes we drift and we lose our way. So here you will find conversations with leaders, with the oncologists, with other coaches, with other people who have survived cancer, you name it. And you will also find invitations, reflections, hands-on exercises, many tools to help you, as I said, navigate cancer in your own terms. My role is to walk alongside you. Of course, never to tell you what to do. That's not who I am, and that's not my aim. It's more to help you open up spaces that will give you that clarity and a word that you will hear me say a lot, that agency to make your own choices. As a person working with leaders, I see them in challenging situations, making choices, taking decisions, finding the best way. And this is why I bring coaching to cancer as well, because you are the person living your own life. You are a leader. And what situation can be more challenging than fighting for your life? So, if we talk about coaching, what is coaching? Coaching is not therapy. Coaching works to help you answer one question, which is how you want to deal with this. And this can be anything. This can be cancer. This can be any project. This can be how you want to live your life, how you want to really take the most out of it, how you can be a better person, how you can be a better leader. It's not so much focused on why we got here, why we got cancer, because now that we have it, our work is based on what we do with it, what we do from now on. It's not consulting either. Here, we are not going to tell you what to do, as I said earlier. Here, we're not going to give you advice. We are not going to give you the magic pill that will answer all your questions. That's up to you to find your answers. It's focused on objectives and looks into the future. And what I mean by that is that when we work, and also this is what you will find in the book, we want you to visualize what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you want to build? And you will work in that direction. Focused. That's very important. And yeah, it looks into the future, not so much into the past. The past has shaped us, yes. The good news is that we don't need to be trapped in the past. We are human beings that can decide how we want to live our future. So, coaching is not about fixing you because there's nothing to fix. You're not broken. It's about helping you lead yourself in the direction you want to go and to help you navigate uncertainty. And let me introduce you to the Cancer Compass. And before we get there, I would like to say something that for me is very important, which is that cancer doesn't define you. Cancer doesn't tell us who you are. Cancer is a situation, but it doesn't define you. It's not your identity. Your identity is much wider, goes beyond what you're experiencing right now. I see cancer as a journey, and the Cancer Compass will help you find your way and maybe guide you in your different steps. It's structured in 6 parts, and in the coming episodes, we will deep dive into each of them. For now, let me just mention which they are. Part 1, self-discovery. This is about self-awareness, about understanding who you are, connecting with your identity, and getting to know yourself a little better. Part 2, it's about choice. Now that you know yourself a little bit and the tools you have to make your choices, it's the time to start doing it. Part 3, it's about empowerment. It's about understanding what's behind all this. Who have we worked with before? Where is this coming from? And how has this framework empowered others and coaching empowered others, same as it can empower you? Part 4, self-leadership. This is your moment to lead your life, to examine critical areas of your life, aspects, and we will get into topics that could be very delicate and normally we don't touch upon, like intimacy or even going back to work, to see where you stand and what you want. Part 5 is about purpose. Now that you're here, what do you want to do with all this? And even about how we are going to get this to organizations. We have talked about leaders already. You are a leader, and maybe you work in an organization where you want to help others who have cancer. How do we offer support? How do we accompany them? What gives purpose? And part 6, that's our final step, which is freedom. Once we have gone through this journey, how do we feel? I will let you see what it's like when we get there. And you might be wondering, who is this person who is in front of me telling me all these things? Well, apart from the fact that I'm Spanish, and maybe you have already noticed based on my accent, I live near Barcelona right now, and I'm a professional coach. I work a lot with leaders, with top executives, especially with a business school in Lausanne, in Switzerland, IMD. I also work a lot with people with cancer. And my professional journey started long ago when I was working in a multinational, traveling the world. I was a project manager, and things were a lot of fun. And then I got married, and then cancer hit. And when cancer hit, first, I didn't want to believe it. And all I wanted was to go back to normal. And on top of that, I wanted to understand because right before cancer, I had been pregnant. And when I was starting my 6th month of pregnancy, I went into labor. It was really traumatic. And Eloy, my son, didn't survive it. So for me, having that shock and that very hard experience, and then having my diagnosis, having cancer, breast cancer, for me, there had to be a connection. This is when I started doing my research, and I started trying to understand how this process was manifesting in my body, what was happening here. And when I did, I felt empowered. I felt empowered because I was able to make my choices, take my own decisions, discuss with the different doctors until I got to my surgeon, and she decided that she wanted to take out my breast and my lymph nodes. And I wanted to negotiate with her, and she didn't want to. I remember saying, you know what, I will sign anything, but please don't remove my lymph nodes. And she said, I'm sorry, if you don't want that, you have to go to a different hospital. So you might think that she gave me a choice, but after 8 cycles of chemotherapy, believe me, I was too tired to do anything else but accepting. That was when I lost my power, and that was what triggered my need to not allow others to go through the same situation. I think she abused her power. That's one thing. And also, it helped me understand the importance of making our own choices and deciding for ourselves. And why am I saying this? Because after that surgery, I developed lymphedema in my arm. My surgeon had promised that that wouldn't happen because I was young, and it did. And what was really, really hard to swallow was the fact that I hadn't taken that choice of having my lymph nodes removed. If I had, probably I would have felt differently, but I didn't. So, as I'm saying, I couldn't allow this to happen again. Once I recovered, I wanted to be a mom. So I really worked hard on it. Probably you're already familiar with the side effects of chemotherapy, and it was really challenging for me. But that wasn't the most challenging part. The most challenging part was facing society when they would say things like, are you gonna get pregnant and bring a child to this world when maybe you will leave him orphan after a few years? And to me, it was like, how can they even judge and want to decide, ignoring my own wishes and my own dreams? So I had my son. He's Paul, and he was born in 2014. And after that, I created a charity to help other women who wanted to become moms after breast cancer. And again, that brought me so many experiences with these women. Wanting to accompany them was what drove me to become a coach. And I was already working at IMD as a project manager, so using my coaching with leaders made a lot of sense. That was one of the places where I gained a lot of experience that brought into my PhD. So during 5 years, I was working with patients, implementing a methodology to really fine-tune which tools worked with them to really design a specific coaching that would help them go through cancer and really take the most out of it. And well, soon after that, I created a company to actually give support to organizations who want to help their people with cancer and also their teams. That's Kimberlite. So that's where I am now. Right now, I'm already a master certified coach. I have more than 3,000 hours of experience working with people. And I've just published this book, Navigate Cancer. So the reason why I'm saying it here like this is because I feel that I'm in the middle of a journey that who knows where it's going to take me, but I live it with passion and with excitement. I'm sharing my story with you for two reasons. The first one is because maybe something resonates. And if my story is helpful, I'm happy to share it. The second one is because I want to reassure you so that you know that everything we discuss here is not something that just comes from someone who woke up one day after cancer and decided to start talking. There's been many hours, many people involved, a lot of research, a lot of learning. During my journey and all these years working with cancer, with coaching, with people, what have I learned? Well, what I've learned is very simple. Cancer might change your life. It changed mine, but it doesn't get to decide who you are. And this is what we will explore together. So now that we're reaching the end of our first episode, I want to first thank you for being there, listening to me. Please send any suggestion you want to send, reach out, and I'm happy to listen. And remember, cancer may touch your life and change it, but it doesn't get to define you. You are the one who has that power, your superpowers. And here we will explore that together. Thank you for listening.